So, Module 5 of the Public International Law deals with the recognition of state. So, recognition is nothing but the act by which one state acknowledge the existence of another state at international level in order to cooperate with that other state or even group of state in order to engage in the trade activity or other international cooperation between two states. This recognition is necessary. So this recognition is completely political function depend upon the sweet will of that particular state whether to recognize or not to recognize other nation to deal with each other. That is the discretion of that particular state. So this aspect we have to study under the recognition of state. So we are going to see here the meaning and significance of recognition, what is mean by recognition and what is its importance. Here also we have to see the theories of recognition, what recognition is as per certain jurists, then types of recognition, is it permanent, mandatory, mode of recognition, how one state recognize another state at international level, and whether insurgency and belligerency situations can be recognized at international level, and if recognized, what is their nature and extent. So these topic we have to study under module 5. So let's move towards the first segment, that is meaning and significance of recognition. So here the number and identity of the state is not fixed, but it is variable and it changes with the march of history because no state remain constant. Though today, because of the development of international law, the now states are remaining constant. But earlier, even in World War First, World War Second, state were changed, USSR, etc. They were diminished. Even India, Pakistan, they get separated. So they changes. So due to passage of time, old state disappear or unite with the other state to form a new state or disintegrate and split into several new states like European Union wherein the association of South Asian countries, some of the countries are coming together. So some of the states are separating from each other likewise. So even in the case of existing states, due to revolutions or military conquest like the Afghanistan, Pakistan, the status of new government changes. So some may be democratic, some may be military, some may be autocratic. So these transformations bring problems for recognition of new states or new governments to the international law. So it may be pointed out that the subject of recognition of state is not based on consistent and clearly defined rules or principles. Rather, it is a subject involving the unsystematic state practices because of the following reasons. Why it is unsystematic state practices? The reason is first, the recognition is much more a question of policy than the question of law. Second, in the same, the policy of recognizing state is governed by the principles of protecting its own interest, which lie in the maintaining proper relations with the new state or new government likely to be stable and permanent. And secondly, granting recognition depends upon the attitude of recognizing state towards the new state in providing recognition to it. So as there are several kind of recognition and what type of recognition is going to be conferred, whether it is due jure or de facto, de jure or de facto recognition. De jure means on paper and de facto means practically. So let's see the definition of recognition, what recognition is. So recognition may be defined in simple term as formal acknowledgement by an existing member of the international community of the international personality of a state or political group, not hitherto maintaining official relations with it. So, accept the existence of newly emerged state at international level or newly emerged group. So, certain authors define the concept of recognition. One of them is Jessup. He says recognition of the state is the act by which another state acknowledges that the political entity recognized possesses the attribute of statehood. Simply, Jessup says if the group possesses attribute of statehood, the other state must recognize it. The Oppenheim says in recognizing state as a member of international community, the existing state declares that in their opinion, the new state fulfills the conditions of statehood as required by international law. So again, same thing is there. The crux of all definition is if any group fulfills the requirements of statehood, that is sufficient for acknowledging existence of such state. See, even Fenwick says, though recognition, through recognition, the member of international community formally acknowledge that the new state has acquired international personality. Therefore, according to Kelsen, even we already discussed the concept of state. According to Kelsen, a community to be recognized as an international person must fulfill the following conditions. The community must be politically organized. First thing, the community must be a politically organized. Second, it should have a permanent control over a definite territory. Third, the community thus constituted must be independent. Therefore, the conditions of the statehood are people, territory, government, and sovereignty. If these attributes are possessed by a group, by a state newly emerged, then another state can go with that state or acknowledge such state to have international cooperation among themselves. Therefore, international law, however, does not provide as to how these essential conditions to be determined. So there is no yardstick with the international law that this and this population, suppose 1 crore and exceeding. So this criteria was not laid down. Or territory, 1,000 kilometers, square kilometers must be there. Like that was not determined by the international law. It merely uses the word territory. So it may be minimum like Vatican City. The even territory of 100 acres can be a state. So no yardstick to measure these parameters was laid down, but merely the possession of these things are required. So international law leaves it to the members of international community to determine by themselves whether the recognized states contain the essential conditions of statehood. So it is because of this reason that very often recognition is said to be a political diplomatic function. So the definition of all, more or less, the end result of all definition is whether particular state possess attribute of statehood. If it possess, that is sufficient. You may interact with them or go further in either international trade, combating terrorism, or other development issues, be it a sharing of technological knowledge, etc. So these are the ways. Even there was one Marathi movie wherein a particular village was not found in either state. That was the village situated at boundary and both the state. It was shown in the movie that the village was situated at the boundary of Maharashtra and Karnataka. But both the government deny that this village is not situated either in Maharashtra, neither in Karnataka. That's what they decided to have an independent state. And they approached to the United Nations. पाहिलंय का कोणी? Yes, Bharatiya. भारतीय नावाचा चित्रपट आहे, त्याच्यात पहा व्हॉट रिक्वायरमेंट्स आर देअर फॉर स्टेटहूड. तर त्या रिक्वायरमेंट त्यांच्याकडे असतात आणि ते मग संयुक्त राष्ट्रसंघाकडे जातात की आम्ही राष्ट्र आहोत आणि आम्हाला मान्यता द्या इंटरनॅशनल पातळीवर. ही आमची राज्यघटना आहे, हा आमचा नॅशनल फ्लॅग आहे आणि वी आर दॅट प्रोसेस इज रिकग्निशन ऑफ स्टेट. आणि मग आम्ही भारताबरोबर ट्रीटी करून मग पाहू काय करायचं. सो फॉर सेक ऑफ अंडरस्टँडिंग व्हॉट ॲट्रिब्यूट्स ऑफ स्टेट एक्सेट्रा आर. येस. So move further. Theories of recognition. So two main theories, others were views of the authors. So one is constitutive theory, another is declaratory or evidentiary, and third one is Stimson. Stimson is a name of person who is a foreign secretary of particular nation. He put forth his approach. Similarly, Sturda is also a person. हे नाव पाठ करावे लागतील. जरी वेगळे वाटत असले, नाव पाठ करायला काय तेच सूत्र लक्षात ठेवायचे. जसं तुम्ही फॉरेन क्रिकेटरचे नाव लक्षात राहतात तुमच्या. On the same way. Yes. So these four theories we have to discuss. Constitutive theory. Is there any fixed characteristic for state? Yes. Whether you have population, whether you have territory, whether you have established government, and whether that government is sovereign. That's it. हे तुमच्या गोष्टी असतील तर यू आर अ स्टेट. तुमच्याकडे किती प्रांत आहे, किती लोक आहे, याची काही गरज नाही दिलेली इंटरनॅशनल लॉ. तुमच्याकडे जर सेपरेट प्रांत असेल मग तो तुम्ही एखाद्या राष्ट्रापासून मिळवलेला असेल तरी दॅट इज सफिशियंट फॉर दी स्टेट. आणि तुम्हाला स्टेट म्हणून मान्य करायचे नाही हे दुसरं राष्ट्र ठरवेल. त्याच थेरी आहेत. किंवा नाही ठरवलं तर तुम्ही स्वतःला स्टेट म्हणू शकता का, दॅट वी विल सी इन दीज theories. So the fixed characteristics are laid down by Kelsen, which we seen already. That is, community is there, population. The community is politically organized. कम्युनिटी अशी नकोय की कोणी कोणाचं ऐकत नाहीये. ती कम्युनिटी ही संघटित स्वरूपाची असली पाहिजे आणि संघटित हे राज्यघटनेद्वारे केलं जातं. तशी असेल त्याच्यानंतर त्याच्यावर तुमचा कंट्रोल असेल. तुमचंच कोणी ऐकत नाहीये तिथं किंवा तिथं केलेल्या कायद्यांची अंमलबजावणी नाहीये, ऐकलं जात नाहीये, कायदा पाळला जात नाहीये. जसं आपल्याकडं 5 वर्षानंतर एक सरकार बदललं का लगेच ते चार्ज दुसऱ्या सरकारला देतात. तसं प्रत्येक राष्ट्रामध्ये होत नाही, कारण इथं पॉलिटिकली ऑर्गनाइज्ड कम्युनिटी आहे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन आणि तिथं कायदा पाळला जातो. किती वर्ष ते सत्तेत असले तर खाली उतरून त्यांना दुसऱ्याला द्यावं लागतं. युपीए ruled for 2 terms. Then NDA. Once NDA defeat, the UPA will came into power, and that has to be handed over by one state to another state because it is politically organized community with the constitution. How many other states should recognize, then state become not necessary. Even a state can be recognized by one single state. They will go hand in hand. They will cooperate with each other and they may become a state. Even that is not necessary if the one state doesn't require. That is protectorate. They can be a state but not under their own. Even India had recognized the Tibet. It is a state. But whether to become a member of United Nations, that is to be decided by that particular state. Tibet is a state, but the kind of state we had seen, that's what. स्टेट म्हणजे प्रत्येकाला तुम्ही भारतासारखंच समजू नका. स्टेट म्हणजे भारत देश जसा आहे किंवा पाकिस्तान, बांगलादेश, श्रीलंका हे सगळे असे तसेच प्रत्येक राष्ट्र असतील असं नाही. प्रत्येक स्टेट इज हॅव्हिंग देअर ओन कॅपॅसिटी, देअर ओन रिसोर्सेस, पॉप्युलेशन एक्सेट्रा. त्या बेसिसवर ते स्टेट असतील. आता भारत, इंडिया हॅड रिकॉग्नाइज्ड द तिबेट. सो इट इज अ स्टेट फॉर इंडिया. Even there were treaties between India and Tibet. So these are the attributes. So we are at the theories, that the theories are 4: constitutive, declaratory, Stimson doctrine and Easterda doctrine. First we will see constitutive theory. So according to this theory, now you will get here your answer, Digambar Sonowne, whether Tibet is a state or not. So there was not necessary that somebody must put a mark upon you that you are a state. If you have those attributes, you are state on your own. So there is no necessity to put a mark by some international community. Even international law doesn't say so. If anybody is not the member of United Nations, still they can be a state. So that's what constitutive theory says. Yes, according to this theory, recognition clothes the recognized state with the right and duties under international law. So recognition is a process through which a political community acquires international personality by becoming a member of family of nations. And this view was propounded by Hegel, Anzilotti, Oppenheim, etc. They says, according to Oppenheim, a state is and becomes an international person through recognition only and exclusively. So, without recognition, one cannot be state. This is the approach of constitutive theory C. This is not the approach of international law. So, as per Oppenheim, recognition is must for becoming state. If you are not recognized, you are not state. But this is wrong. But this is the approach of first constitutive theory. Secondly, according to Holland, recognition confers maturity upon state, and until and unless a state is recognized, it cannot acquire right under international. So what? Recognition is a compliance as per this theory. अनलेस यू रजिस्टर्ड, जसं नोंदणी असतं, नोंदणी केल्यानंतर तुम्हाला काही मिळणार नाही, तसं हे या थेरीनुसार रिकग्निशन तुमचं जोपर्यंत करत नाही दुसरं राष्ट्र, तोपर्यंत तुम्हाला स्टेट म्हणता येणार नाही. त्याच्यामुळे काही लोक तिबेटला स्टेट नसतील म्हणत, ॲज पर धिस थेरी, कॉन्स्टिट्यूटिव्ह थेरी. So it is not correct to say that Tibet is not a state. The Tibet will decide whether they are state or not the other person. As per correct international law, not as per these theories. Therefore, according to this theory, statehood and participation in the international legal order are attained by political group only insofar as they are recognized by established states. So, as per this theory, constitutive theory, recognition is a mandatory concept to confer recognition on new state. So, unless that is not there, you cannot be a state. But this approach is wrong. How, that we will see in the course of time. The second theory is declaratory. So here, according to this theory, statehood or the authority of the new government exists as such prior to and independently of recognition. Now, as per this theory, Tibet can be considered as a state. So there is no need of formal recognition. Recognition merely put a stamp, but without that stamp, you can be there. So, as per declaratory theory, if these things are exist, no stamp is necessary from other nations. You are state on your own. So, recognition is merely a formal acknowledgement through which established facts are accepted. रिकग्निशन काय एक प्रोसेस आहे फक्त, त्याच्यामुळे ज्या गोष्टी अस्तित्वात आहे त्या मान्य केल्या जातात फक्त. सो द ऍक्ट ऑफ रिकग्निशन इज मियरली डिक्लरेटरी, फक्त घोषणा केली जाते. तुम्ही जिवंत आहात याची सुद्धा घोषणा करून पाहिजे असते, पण ती घोषणा जर नसेल तर तुम्ही डेड नाही होत, कारण तुम्ही जिवंत आहेत हे कागदावर दाखवावं लागतं. कुठं दाखवावं लागतं? तुम्ही समोर उभा असून काय उपयोग नसतो, कारण लॉ सेड सच. पेन्शन, येस, हयातीचा दाखला तुम्ही ऐकला असेल, हयातीचा दाखला आणा म्हणून. हयातीचा दाखला मीन्स यू आर लिव्हिंग. पेन्शन इज गिवन टू द लिव्हिंग पर्सन. So you have to join the certificate that you are in living, you are living, and then it is to be accepted that yes, you are living, you are entitled to pensions. Even though you are in front of authority, they did not recognize it. Same thing declaratory theory says. एखादं राष्ट्र हे राष्ट्र आहे, फक्त कागदपत्र तेच दिले नाही ना त्यांनी. फक्त दुसऱ्या राष्ट्राबरोबर ट्रिटीज केली नाही ना, याचा अर्थ ते राष्ट्र नाही असं नाही. तसंच तिबेट. येस, तिबेट इज अ स्टेट ऑन इट्स ओन. भारताने त्यांच्याबरोबर करार केला. But even prior to that, so according to this theory, statehood recognition is merely a formal acknowledgement. ती फक्त पूर्तता आहे रिकग्निशन म्हणजे. त्याच्या आधी काही राष्ट्र, काही समुदाय हे स्टेट असू शकतात. ISIS, they are calling them as a state. So Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, they are having state, they are having their flag. They were not recognized by any state, but they are branding themselves as a state. So they are belligerent group in Iraq and Syria. So the act of recognition is merely declaratory of an existing fact that a particular state or government possesses the essential attributes as required under international law. So the chief exponent of this theory are Hall and Bradley. So according to Hall, a state enters into a family of nations as of right when it has acquired the essential attribute of statehood. एकदा का राष्ट्रानं त्या कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक आत्मसात केल्या तर ते राष्ट्र इंटरनॅशनल लेवलवर येऊन पोहोचतं. भले त्यांना कोणी मान्यता नाही दिली तरी चालेल. जसं त्यांच्याकडून ह्युमन राईट व्हायोलेशन होऊ शकतं, त्यांच्यावर एन्व्हायरमेंट डिग्रेडेशन न करण्याची जबाबदारी येऊ शकते. ते काय कुठल्या ट्रिटीनं त्यांना सांगायची गरज नाही, कारण त्यांचे रिसोर्सेस त्यांना टिकून ठेवायचे असतील तर त्यांना एन्व्हायरमेंट पोल्युशन न करणं हेच चांगलं राहील. त्याच्यामुळे ते आपोआप इंटरनॅशनल लॉ पाळतील. भले ते संयुक्त राष्ट्रसंघामध्ये नसले किंवा स्टॉकहोल्म कॉन्फरन्सला नसले, एन्व्हायरमेंट ट्रिटीला अबसेंट असले लाईकवाईज. सो ॲज अ ब्रेअरली, as per him, the granting of recognition to a new state is not a constitutive but a declaratory act. So a state may exist without being recognized. मान्यतेशिवाय राष्ट्र असू शकतं. इतर राष्ट्रांच्या मान्यतेवर अवलंबून असायची गरज नाही. And if it exists in fact, then whether or not it has been formally recognized by other state, it has a right to be treated them as a state. So their state is a state, even though, in other words, declaratory theory says there is no need of formal acknowledgement by other state once state possesses the population, territory, government, etc. Yes, so let's move towards third theory, that is Stimson doctrine. Stimson is the name of person, again, I said earlier. This doctrine was propounded by Mr. Stimson, who was the Secretary of State of the United States of America. As per this doctrine was also often called as doctrine of non-recognition. So negatively he says about recognition. According to this doctrine, if state grant recognition to another state in violation of international treaty, such recognition would not be valid. So there must be a treaty, and if there were provision that not to grant recognition to particular state, and if still the recognition was granted, it amounts to no recognition. So the states must come together and declare that certain states should not be recognized. So, for example, here is Pact of Paris 1928, through which the state parties renounced war as an instrument of their national policy. And the League of Assembly also passed a resolution that any state who violated the Pact of Paris 1928 would not be granted recognition. So, Mr. Stimson propounded this doctrine after Japan attacked Manchuria in 1931. Manchuria is a part of China. So, it may be noted here that the China, Japan, and America were all parties to the Pact of Paris 1928. But in practice, state refuses to accept any such obligations and treat recognition as a political diplomatic function. Again, take a note of this, that international law is merely a political morality, and ultimately it depends upon the will and wishes of state whether to follow particular obligations or not. So here this obligation was not followed by the nations. The whatever held in Pact of Paris, that was not followed thereafter, because the example given by the Stimson is of the attack of Japan on Manchuria in 1931. That too only 3 years after the Pact of Paris. But still, they were recognized by another nations. Even India recently decided to enter into several trade treaties with the Japan. So even by this way, we can say international law is a political morality only. Yes, now fourth approach of recognition is Isterda doctrine. This doctrine was propounded by Mr. Isterda. He was foreign minister of Mexico. In this doctrine, he declared that regarding the establishment of diplomatic relations with other state, there must be a recognition. So, Mexico government consider itself free to determine it in accordance with the facts and circumstances of each case. In other words, if the Mexico government consider that after the change of government in any state through revolution, a revolutionary government commands the support of the people, it may establish diplomatic relations with it. So this doctrine has been subject to severe criticism because it disintegrates the rule of international law. It encourages the individual appraisal in the field. Therefore, this doctrine does not seem to be correct and needs to be discouraged. So, in short, Steve Istarda says, even though there is a revolutionary change into particular nation, so if any group revolt against another and acquired that state, such revolutionary group can also be entitled to established embassies in another nations. They can also establish diplomatic relations with another nations. But this approach was wrong. The government has to be changed only with the constitutional process. So, such doctrine was not recognized. So, revolutionary process, in other words, were not recognized if there is a gross violation of human rights in any country for acquiring power, then such practices are discouraged by international law or even by the international community. So these are the four theories dealing with the recognition of states. So now we will move towards the types of recognition. What are the way in which recognition can be granted? Simply, see, recognition may be of two kinds, de facto and de jure recognition. So the practice of state shows that in the first stage, they generally give de facto. De facto means temporary in nature. So the rest of the part we will see tomorrow.